Due Process, winner of 25 regional Emmy Awards, including the 2014 New York Emmys for our coverage of criminal justice and current affairs. Due Process is a presentation of Rutgers School of Law, Newark, and the Edward J. Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy. Studio facilities provided by the Rutgers ITV Studio, Division of Continuing Studies.
Woodrow Wilson shows us that someone who supports democracy in so many arenas of his life can also be a racist.
Woodrow Wilson, our 28th president, a father of the progressive movement, and a diehard racist. He brought his bias to New Jersey's prestige college, to the New Jersey State House, and to the White House. No wonder black campus activists want his name and his image purged from Princeton. That's next on Due Process.
Major funding for Due Process provided by the Fund for New Jersey, supporting informed citizens for an effective democracy. Additional funding from the New Jersey State Bar Foundation and the PSEG Foundation, making things better in our communities.
A progressive on issues like child labor and women's suffrage. The president who said he'd make the world safe for democracy, conceived the League of Nations, won the Nobel Peace Prize. That may be the Woodrow Wilson you learned about in school. I'm Raymond Brown.
I'm Sandra King, and chances are you were not taught about the other Woodrow Wilson, who revered the Confederacy, admired the Klan, supported segregation, and brought Jim Crow to the federal civil service. That's the Wilson black students say should be purged from his pedestal at Princeton.
We're here. We've been here. We ain't leaving.
And they didn't leave Nassau Hall for 32 hours until the president agreed to at least consider their demands, even the purging of Woodrow Wilson.
Why Wilson? Well, because Wilson is definitely one of the most idolized figures on this campus. When you enter as a freshman, there's a play. A segment of that play honors Wilson, says, oh, what would Wilson do?
But it's some of what Wilson did as president of Princeton, governor of New Jersey, and president of the United States that's prompted protest from some black students and supporters on this prestige campus, where Wilson is an icon.
To have Woodrow Wilson's name plastered across buildings, to idolize him, to see him as a god on this campus, that is disgusting.
His name and image here are ubiquitous, especially at the world-renowned Woodrow Wilson School of Public and International Affairs.
I champion the students who took over Nassau Hall and who've raised this issue of Woodrow Wilson. And I think that we should remove all symbols and all names that uphold white supremacy and racism.
Consider these Wilson words.
The domestic slaves, at any rate, and almost all who were under the master's eye, were happy and well cared for.
Or his admiration for
a great Ku Klux Klan, a veritable empire of the South, to protect the Southern country.
There is no shortage of shocking examples from this national symbol of progressive democracy.
Segregation is not a humiliation, but a benefit, and ought to be so regarded by you gentlemen.
Woodrow Wilson shows us that someone who supports democracy in so many arenas of his life can also be a racist.
President Eisenhower said Woodrow Wilson had flawed characteristics. Those are not just flawed characteristics.
Not when they had direct destructive impact on real people's lives. Whether it was the prospective black students rejected by Princeton until the 1940s.
No Negro has ever applied for admission.